So this is the new dishonorable mention medal, and there's two for this one, and that is the Moonraker boat thingamajig from Moonraker, and it's stupid. I think it's a funny scene, to be honest with you, but it is just such a terrible thing in so many ways I couldn't pass it up. And one of the more forgotten vehicles is the Diamonds Are Forever moon buggy, excuse me, and it's just... Diamonds Are Forever isn't a great film because it's so silly, and this is one of the reasons I think that. My questionable mention, and the reason I'm not sure whether to place it or not, is because I love it, but I'm not sure if it's really a Bond vehicle, and that's the Moonraker shuttles, obviously from Moonraker, and I'm really confused as to whether or not they count as actual Bond vehicles, and, yeah, that's all I can really say about them. I was gonna rank it when I originally made the rankings. It was in my top 10. Just I wasn't sure, so I made it a questionable mention. Honorable mentions, and there are a lot of cars, and the first one is the Die Another Day Invisible car, and the reason it isn't in my top 10, although I love the idea behind it, I think it was A, poorly executed, and B, if it wasn't invisible, I think it'd be easily top 5. It's a great vehicle, and it steals the show, really. It has some great scenes. It's just, I think, the fact that it's invisible is too, quirky for some Bond fans. Next is the Casino Royale car, and the main reason I like it is because of how he earns it through a poker game, and I'm not going to show it getting distracted, because I don't like seeing the cars getting broken. No, okay. Quantum Solace car, and the reason it's on mute is because it's so loud. I can't do it, but I enjoy it. I think it's a great vehicle and definitely the high point of the movie. The You Only Live Twice helicopter is ridiculous, but it's so funny, and I think this is where the movie begins to get good. The best part is when you look at it, you wouldn't even think it would fly. It looks like a toy helicopter from the mall. Yes, I am putting this on the list, not because it's a great car, just because of what it does. I mean, look at this. That's incredible. So, although it's not an amazing car or vehicle, really, it does one of the coolest things in the entire series. Number 10, I think, is kind of a takeoff of Tomorrow Never Dies, and that is The World Is Not Enough car, but what I find interesting is, in Tomorrow Never Dies, the car's controlled by a phone, whereas this was turned on by, this will sound stupid, but a key, but he started driving it with the key, and I think, as much as I love this car, I think it's a kind of a takeoff, and if this car ever gets damaged, I swear, no, that was heartbreaking. Anyways, number 9 is the boat from the beginning scene of The World Is Not Enough. And if you can find videotape for this, then you are a god. So I'm just going to show photos. And I think it's just a really cool vehicle. I love how it's like Hugh's like vacation vehicle, I guess you could say, for his retirement. And I love the stunt that they did for it. I mentioned it in the top 10 stunts. But the picture of this right here, it's incredible. I just think it's an awesome vehicle. Number 8 is the most ridiculous vehicle till Die Another Day, and it is the Living Daylights car, and this thing is just, it's the laser, and the tire is ridiculous, but I love it. I love all the stupid gadgets that they never use, but I'm okay with that. I think it's an overall great car, and honestly, in a film which has some of the most memorable gadgets in the entire series, it's nice to have a gadget-laden car, I guess you could put it up. But I love how, on this scene in the lake, the way he, I guess, takes down, the police, the army, whatever, is by not using a gadget, but rather using the car itself to his advantage by using the tire. And I don't know if that physically works, but I'm down. By cutting a circle around the cop, and I just think it's a great vehicle. I think it's a great scene, one of the best in the entire movie, and it really just, it works with the movie that it's in. Okay, when I said ridiculous vehicle, I totally forgot about number 7, and that is the Octopussy carriage plane thing. And oh my god, this is one of my most favorite pre-credit sequences in the entire series. And I'm not gonna bore you with all the action. Kidding, it's great, but it's so long I couldn't choose one particular thing to go at. And it's just a great overall scene. I love the plane so much. I love how that's like his escape route, how they easily could have just driven off and then had the theme song, but instead they had this completely unnecessary action, which reminds me of Goldfinger in a way, and it's just a great overall scene, and oh, it's just perfect. And how at the end he like drives up to the gas station, really being pretty lucky how his plane dies right in front of it, but I'm okay with that, and I just think overall it's a great pre-credit sequence. Number 6, when I saw this in cinema, I thought it was hilarious because people started cheering, and that is the car from Skyfall with just this little beaut. And I love how they connect it to Goldfinger. I know it's an anniversary film, and Tiny Another Day, when they were an anniversary film, they completely overkilled it, but I love the whole gimmick with, you know, the ejector seat that he threatens with M, and the Bond music in the background. It's perfect, and I love this entire scene. And Skyfall is one of my favorite movies in the entire series, and I think this is a key moment as to why I enjoy it. I love the dialogue between the two, and just overall it's a great scene. Anyways, number 5 is, I think it's not much the vehicle itself, it's just everything in the scene. I love Sheriff J.W. Pepper, the greatest sheriff in all of Louisiana, and I get why people dislike him, seeing as he kind of ruins one of the best scenes in the entire series, but I think he's funny, and I think he's good in this scene, and I really couldn't imagine it without it. I love his participation, I guess you could call it, in this scene, and I just think it's a great overall scene. The boats are awesome. I love how one boat's faster than the other, and how Bond uses his wit to get out of it. I love this radio scene at the end there, when he's like, the vehicle. Okay, after some racism, we got number 4, which is the Tomorrow Never Dies car with the phone thingamajig. This scene is just awesome all around. I love how Bond is controlling the car, but with a gadget. I love how there's all these weapons, so much unnecessary noise and action. It's great. Only positive adjectives to describe this scene. Everything about it's completely perfect. How Bond's kind of confused as to how to use the phone at times. I love it. I think this is what a Bond car should be, and that is just gadget-lated to the roof. Obviously, it's a DB5, which is thumbs up for Quinn, but, oh my god, Tomorrow Never Dies, as you guys have seen in my rankings video, is one of my favorite films, and this is why. So much unnecessary action. It's great. Number 3 is a very simple car, but very well done, and I love it. Just look at it. It's great. Wait. Right. Okay. Check that. It's a tank, and, if you guys have ever played a Bond video game made after 95, you know that they all involve a tank. And the reason is because of this one scene in GoldenEye, which is just so unnecessary for so many reasons. It's great, but when I say I like GoldenEye and it's my favorite Bond movie, which I'll probably stick by, that From Russia with Love, this is the reason, because of this crazy scene, which is just so, like, my god, everything happens in this scene. Just everything, product placements, landmarks, being destroyed. It's great. I know this is the only real time they use a tank, and I'm okay with that, because first time's the best time, in my opinion, for most things in the Bond series, except for Dr. No. But, yeah, this scene's just perfect in every way. Everyone acts in it brilliantly. I love how Armoroff's just a drunk in this scene. It's perfect, perfect, perfect. That's all I can say. Number 2, I don't know what to say about it, really. It's a great vehicle, and I think it's just such an amazing idea. How they came up with it is beyond me, because it's so stupid, yet they pull it off in such a way which makes it arguably the best vehicle in the entire series, and I love how it's used. I love how they really make sure they use it in this film to make it remembered, unlike other vehicles. Like in GoldenEye, they had an amazing car, but they never used it. But I like how they have like 20 minutes of footage just for this car, and it's perfect. I love how it defeats a helicopter, which doesn't happen much. It's happened twice, I think, in the entire series that Bond uses a car to destroy a helicopter, and this is the best, obviously, because it's just so, wow, you didn't see it coming. I didn't see it coming when I first watched this movie. I was like, damn, I thought he drowned. But either way, great vehicle. Number 1, remember how last week I had Dr. No as my favorite score because it's the best? Well, same thing for the DB5 and Goldfinger. I don't want to see it get destroyed in any way, so I'm not going to play any scene where he actually drives it, but this scene where Q's describing it to him, I think it's a great scene for 2 reasons. 1, it introduces the best vehicle in the entire series, obviously, and 2, it has a great Q branch scene, which introduces the Q branch segment to every Bond movie to come, even in Skyfall, where that wasn't even a Q scene. It was great. And I love how pissed off Q is when Sean Connery makes fun of it. Just look. It's just, it's perfect. Next week, we're going to be looking at another, I know you guys hate these, but I'm still making them, comparison to the Bond films, and I'm not telling you what they're going to be. It's a surprise, because my channel, I get to do what I do. And remember, for each new subscription, there's a new video, so hit subscribe now. Trust me, I got some great ideas coming up, so you want to hit subscribe.